Step 2, turn your descriptive goals into long-term measurable goals. Okay. Now you got to use that SMART acronym when creating goals, right? SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, right? Or relevant, I should say. Relevant is the R. Okay. Okay. So create SMART goals, create long-term. Okay. We're looking at what you want to achieve at the end of the road. Okay. So we've got your starting point. Now we got to create where you want it to be. So turn those descriptive goals into measurable goals. Okay. So let me give you an example of what that is. So measurable goals are things like, I want to lose 30 pounds of fat. I want to lose 28 inches in my waist. Okay. That's what I mean by measurable goals. These are things that you can truly measure. Okay. So you can start off with just looking at your measurements and creating goals for each of those measurements. Okay. Which is what I'm going to suggest, just because that's a less advanced way of doing it. But essentially what you want to do is, when you go line by line from all your measurements, okay, so you look at all your measurements, your fat mass, your lean body mass, your body fat percentage, your weight, your waist, your hips, circumference, your chest circumference, your thigh circumference. When you get all those measurements, then you can go line by line and create where you want those to be. Okay, so you write those down, you write your goals down. Now, when you finish writing all of those goals down, then you need to go back and look at your descriptive goals. Okay, if you were to achieve all of these things, all of these goals for your descriptive goal, or excuse me, for your measurable goals, okay, would you achieve your descriptive goals? Okay. So let me give you an example of somebody, the same person that I was telling you about, and how we created her descriptive goals, and how we used her body fat measurements and all the measurements that we had and created these long-term measurable goals. Okay. So here we go. So her long-term physical goals: I want to lose 20 pounds of fat mass. Okay. And what I did is I put where she was starting and where she wanted to end up. Okay. So she was starting at 46 pounds of fat mass, and her goal was to get to 25 pounds of fat mass. Okay. Now, when you're writing your goals, you want to make sure that you're writing your goals in a way that motivates you. Okay. So, for example, if you can write down that my goal is to get to 25 pounds of total fat mass. Okay. That's one way to write it down. Okay. If you're starting from 45 pounds of fat mass, let's say that's your starting point. Okay. Well, you can say, hey, my goal is to lose 25 pounds, get down to 25 pounds of total fat mass. Right. Or you can say it in another way that's probably a little bit more motivating. I want to lose 20 pounds of total fat mass. Okay. So make sure you write your goals the way that you want it to, or the way that motivates you. Okay. And it'll make a little bit more sense when we go to circumference. Okay. So the next goal is, I want to gain 10 pounds of muscle mass. She's currently, and I put parentheses and I put what she was in, currently at 102. And the goal is to get to 110 or beyond in muscle mass. Okay. I want to decrease my body fat to 24%. I'm currently at 31%. Okay. I want to go back to a size 2, currently a size 6. Okay. That is a measurable goal. So that's how you turn all of these goals into measurable goals. Right now, I can go more on where we want her waist size to be, how many inches she wants to lose in her waist. We can go more into depth with all the stuff, but I think that's enough for right now. Okay. So we look at this and we say, okay, if you lost 20 pounds of fat mass, if you gain 10 pounds of muscle, if you drop to 24% body fat, and if you got down to a size 2 in clothes, okay, would that accomplish your descriptive goals of, I want to have toned thighs, I want to feel comfortable enough to wear skirts without wearing pantyhose underneath, I want to minimize my cellulite, I want to fit into my jeans comfortably and easy to zip up, I want my arms to be toned and have some definition, and I want my obliques to be more defined. If we accomplish those long-term physical goals, does that accomplish your descriptive goals? You got to make sure they match. Okay. If the answer is yes, then you created your long-term physical goals very, very, very well. Okay.